Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
I just like to always make sure you feel welcomed and loved. And
On the Rob and Co show?
Yeah, look, sometimes we know what it is. We know what it is. But what we don't know is going to happen in this game. That's for damn sure. Man, LFO, Circular Spheres, guys, help me here, because Circular Spheres have just not lived up to the name.
Well, they didn't at the start. Now they kind of are. They find themselves still in the bottom two heading into the night, but an opportunity to elevate out of that and, in fact, set themselves up for a decent run in playoffs. Circular Spheres have been a very difficult team to judge throughout this league so far. Even yesterday, the 5-7 loss against Panic does, unfortunately, put them in this position currently. So I think heading into tonight, all eyes have to be on escaping bot 2.
Yep.
Is it possible? I think it is. I wouldn't put them that far behind Man LFO.
No, and look, you have to get a result. Doesn't matter. Point. You need something from this game. You cannot walk away with 0 points heading into your last play day on only 6 for the entire stage. That would, one, it would be a failure for their stage, but two, obviously, the drastic, the drastic end to this is no playoffs for them, which I think would be a disservice to what this roster can achieve.
No, I agree with that. I think this is a roster that should be fighting for arguably top 2, top 3, as a lot of teams probably feel they should be throughout this stage. So, yeah, big game for them. Certainly more on the line for Circular Spheres. I mean, for Man Esports, they're a roster that, what are they, already 9 points, a little bit more solidified. They've had some good results. I think Man Esports come into this particular game with less pressure, and with that, maybe there's more onus on them actually performing in this particular match. I think there's actually more of an expectation now for this roster to be actually considered a better team than Circular Spheres, which is a really good feat, I think, for this roster to actually be achieving coming into this game. So I think they've been really good as a team. The EPS numbers also highlighting that. I mean, Player's certainly been a standout, but look how low he is on the entry kill. So they've got different roles. They're all performing their individual roles. They're not reliant on a singular player. And across the board, these two teams, I don't think are that different between each other. So far, this stage really has been very back and forth in terms of the middle of the pack are all able to beat the middle of the pack. It's just a matter of who shows up on the night.
Yeah, it certainly is. And to be fair, we need to give credit where credit is due. Scars has come in as a debutant and played absolutely unbelievable. In terms of just rocking up consistently every single week, week in, week out, he has been performing for Man Esports LFO, and one of the more consistent players to join the league as a whole over the last couple of years. There's always inconsistencies, but Man LFO, they've felt a little bit more rock solid than maybe we expected. Guys.
Yeah, and look, with Panic unfortunately losing against Carlton's Knights just earlier, it really is now a 2-horse race towards second place between themselves and Odium. Now that, of course, is pending the result of the final game of the night between Odium and Antic. But if Man Esports are able to get a regulation win today, let's say Odium slip up, final playday will be a really interesting duel between the two that will continue. So this is an important game for them, and one in which they'll be expecting to win if they want to be in that top 2 discussion.
Now, we do have a player head-to-head, which is always fun. We've got Player taking on Jake Henner. Now, it needs to be noted, Player is the formidable player on Man LFO, guys. But Jake Henner actually isn't. Goofed is ahead of him, which I think is a surprise for me to say.
Yeah, Goofed has had a really good last couple of play days, but Jake Henner still has been rock solid and quite consistent throughout the stage as well. So looking forward to seeing these two go toe-to-toe. It's interesting to see that Play doesn't have quite as high a share in terms of entry, despite playing that Yana primarily on attack, whereas Jake Henner at 23 on the Nomad is, stands out as being a little bit unusual. But yeah, keen to see them go toe-to-toe. And with identical EPS numbers, it's going to be an intriguing matchup. And then you add Goofed into the equation, and those three are going to be going at it.
It's there is a lot riding on this game. Okay, to give the context before we break down this game any further, Man Esports still need 2 points to secure playoffs. Right, Circular Spheres are in 7th place. They absolutely need points to get out of this discussion. And further than that, Circular Spheres, their final playday is against Antic, which is the only other team on 6 points. So this game has so much riding on it. The pressure will be immense for both of these teams. No bank. We're unfortunately, much to Dev's dismay, Xenox, we're headed back to Clubhouse.
Yeah, and I can't help but feel like that might be a mistake from Circular Spheres. You look at their bans, Cafe Labs into Skyscraper, of course they lost that yesterday. So then why are you picking Club over Bank, which fits more so the theme of the maps you've banned?
Yeah.
That to me is really kind of concerning. I mean, we'll see. And it looks as if they're going to be attacking first as well, which doesn't bode well for them in the first half. I think Man Esports have actually been pretty content with the way this has shaped up. They've denied Consulate, they've denied Border, they've denied a little bit more of these more open maps. Circular Spheres didn't look great on Skyscraper yesterday.
Yeah.
They struggled against the more structured gameplay. Now you're going to Clubhouse? I don't know. This is going to be very interesting. What I will say, though, is Circular Spheres are the embodiment of what everyone else is like in this stage right now. Coin flip. What are you going to get on the day? It's true. I've looked at like a lot of the teams. It's win one play day, then lose the next. They win that play day. We think they're amazing. They're going to win the next one. You saw that today with Panic alone, not that long ago, 30 minutes ago, and suddenly it's like, well, how do you expect to predict that? You can't. So I have no idea how this is going to go because I don't know which version of these two teams are going to show up.
Especially on Clubhouse. It's a dangerous game to be playing, that's for damn sure. It is must-win territory for both teams. We head to Dev and Mandy to run us through.
G'day guys, I'm ready for some more games. I'm ready to cast. I'm not keen for Clubhouse. Mandy, why are we living in Clubhouse and Chalet League? For a second there we got Bank. I thought, yeah, I can get behind this. This is some money moves, but we're back on Clubhouse again.
Oh, no. I don't know. I feel like it's just the nature of the BO1s, to be honest. At this point, it's like you're in play day 6. You've nearly locked yourself in. Actually, you haven't really locked yourself into the playoffs, hey, if you're these two teams.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just comfort. Maybe it's something about not wanting to reveal maps for the BO3. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know.
Good question. Yeah,
I don't know.
Both of these teams are yet to be locked in for the playoffs, but Man Esports LFO are looking pretty hot. They're on 9 points at the minute. They're also gunning for that second place. CS, on the other hand, they are really on the verge of those elimination spots. They're just fighting to stay in. Both of these teams have really hard games next week as well. CS playing against Antic and Man LFO against 6 targets, which has proven to be a pretty strong team, and they've taken a few big scalps. So this is an essential win for both teams, for their campaigns, continuing and capping off this round-robin stage as they play their second last game of the stage round-robin.
I think it's just particularly important for Circular Spheres as well, right? At the moment, these guys on the brink of elimination in 7th place are trying to make that grand escape. Now, this very well could come down to that final play day, assuming Circular Spheres win this one. It could come down to tomorrow's playday. Okay. There are a lot of assumptions here. We assume Circular Spheres win this one. Then Antic win the next one, right?
Wait,
that
sorry.
means...
I'm sorry, let's just come back to that in a second. Production is... No! Chef! No, Chef! Never mind. I think it said you are my
sunshine.
You are my sunshine. Yeah. Alright, cool. Anyway, sorry, please continue. Chef just rudely interrupted us.
That's okay. I actually don't remember what I was talking about.
Maybe that was the plan.
Oh, yeah, no. We were talking about how, so Circular Spheres, hypothetical, okay?
Yes.
If they win today, okay,
Yes.
and then Antic win in the next game, so like about an
Yes.
hour's time, that could make it so that it comes down to like the final game tomorrow, no?
Yeah,
Or
and
you
they're
could say
playing
it
each
the other
other,
way.
right? Because at the moment, Antic in 6th place is on 6 points. Circular Spheres in 7th place, also on 6 points. So yes.
Or it could be the other way round, right? If they both lose,
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying? We could
Very
be cooking
true.
here.
We could be cooking. And also Antic are playing Odium, so very high chance they lose this. If Circular Spheres win this, it could well essentially lock them in, or all but lock them in.
Well, I'm sure that, our mate Sprabuni has done
he's got
the
he's got it
statistics
all,
for
mate.
us. So surely we would just be able to look that up on the basis that we've been lazy. Okay, here we go. So
The
yeah,
percentages.
right. That's pretty good, hey.
So-
So if they win in regulation today, Circular Spheres that is, they are 89% locked in to top 6. Whereas for Man LFO, if they win in regulation or in OT, they definitely make playoffs,
Confirmed.
right?
Yeah. It really feels a bit like an edge case for Man Alpha not making playoffs. There's a 20% chance that they don't make it, and that's only if they lose this in regulation. But for them, they're really gunning for those top 2 spots, and that's very much still up for grabs. Even if they get all the 3 points out of this game, they'll be preying on Odium's downfall against Antic later today. But yeah, as we dig into this one, obviously Circular Spheres are quite a different team to what we saw at the start of the stage where they went 0-14 for rounds. They've fired up quite a lot, but they actually are yet to play Clubhouse, Mandy. So for Circular Spheres, I think this is a great chance for them to prove what they've been working on this map. The last time they played it was in the qualifiers, and they beat Kelton's Knights in overtime, and that's not a great result, to be honest. So I hope that they've been working on it since then. I hope they're ready to fire up and take on one of the best teams in the league in Man Esports.
All right, here we go on the attack. Also, just quickly shout out to Babooni. Thanks for doing the hard work on the pit wall for us. Oh gosh, vertical kill instantly from Cairo. Ready for the rotation coming down from Chikena. Is going to catch him off guard. First pick going in the way of Man LFO.
That's also the hard breach gone. So we still have the Hibana, but usually you want to weakness hashtag exposed. Damn, Chef's talking mad smack. But yeah, usually the way you counter the Kaid, so Cairo himself, on this kitchen hatch is you put the Ace Selmas right next to the hatch and it blows up the hatch anyway. Yeah, thank you very much, Observer. But you're not going to do that anymore. So Physics has got some tough choices to make about what he opens and what he doesn't.
Well, in an ideal world, I think Physics has probably got enough Hibana charges to make it work, right? There are no impacts on the side of the defense. His army hasn't brought impacts. So getting this kitchen hatch open should be fairly easy work. Now, whether they know that or not is a different question. So yeah, just be cautious about it, take a bit of time, but they should get that one open pretty easily. Meanwhile, on the other side though, Pinku's made his way all the way down bot main, and this triple wall is still open as well. So they're trying to exploit the fact that this is still very much awry for the defense and see what they can make work of it. Great C4, lands on Pinku. It's another pick going in the way of Man LFO.
I remember back in the day, you had to line up that C4 with a little marker on the roof. Now with the previs, it's so easy to nail that every single time, get it right, without a lot of like preparation needed. And it's worked so well. Chef does find another pick, in fact, by directly trading with Goofed. There's no doubt that Man Esports are in a firm advantage right here. They've also fortified, as we saw before, that church wall. This single reinforcement here makes things very awkward for getting deep angles into church. And realistically, that's what Japer and Physics need right now. They need a freebie.
All right, here we go. For these two left on the potential execute, coming into a 2 versus 4. It's never easy, especially when you're trying to convert the basement. Unless Hunter just goes and decides to peek Japer all the way over on the hatch. So the flashbang still sailed through. Why are we peeking the kitchen hatch? What is going on?
Bro, you should never be losing this round of 4v2.
Oh dear.
Cairo, oh, he's taken out! What in God's name are they doing? How do you win a 2v4 like that? The credit to Physics. He played it well, but I don't know what to say, man. Esports are throwing.
Yeah,
get back in him on chat. Holy.
All right, you know, I'm going to say it early, Dev. I feel like I'm pulling a bit of a Rob moment here back in Asia, right? But, like, guys, come on. Get out of all chat. Like, honestly, to everybody in OCE that has been in the all chat, get the hell out of all chat, all right? Shut up, focus on the game. That's the first thing first said. Second thing, what the hell just happened to him? How have they lost
This was just like an objective threat. Like, I hate to be so vicious, but Man Esports should never be losing that 4v2. Firstly, it was Hunter. We praised him so much for his IGLing and his leadership skills. He's the Warden. He's the one operator that can withstand the flashbangs that would enable the potential 2v4 drop. And he just peeks and dies. And then another player from a perfectly safe position just peeks and dies. Suddenly, in the 2v2 with flashbangs available, yeah, the attack actually does have an advantage. That was such a throw. I'm just going to say it how it is.
That was profoundly disappointing.
That is all. Credit to Circular Spheres, Physics and Japer. Good two-piece for each of them. Very well played. But, yeah, I mean, the only way they win that round is by getting freebies, and Man Esports like, well, how about this one?
Well, alas, here we go. Yet another attack for Circular Spheres. They managed to thieve away the last one, somehow, so here we go again. Maverick not being brought along, despite it being available and having slipped through the ban phase, but doesn't seem to matter anyway. Circular Spheres willing to play the trick game on the other side with the bandit of Cairo, who's lying in wait for the exothermic to go on the wall, but Pinku thinks the better of it. He's not going to do it early on, and is instead going to rotate over to Con instead, which is completely safe for now, not electrified at all. And that one should be pretty quick work.
Any good stuff? You want to try and maximize these attacks while you've got the chance, because it'd be quite challenging to get... Wow, is that a full forfeit of the CCTV side by the defense? I think every single player is retreated. Can we just get confirmation on that from the overhead? Obviously, there's a lot of setup over here, but we are checking.
No, I think there is a lad on top red.
Let's have a look at the loot. Oh, okay. So, yeah, you're right. Cairo is still over here at top red, but he is currently alone. As his wall begins to be opened, he looks for a fall-off path. And it doesn't seem like anyone is watching his retreat. As I say that, there is a player in secret right around the corner, and Goof does take him down. Actually, no, that's Jakenna. Never mind. These guys still have their terrible names. That's a good opening pick for Circular Spheres. I think it was a mistake for Man Esports to fall off so early.
I would kind of have to agree with you on that as well. But then again, they did have the cutoff already set themselves up on Con. To be honest, I feel like Circular Spheres have just played that sweep across the map well. Hey, I feel like they dedicated all 5 people to it. There was 2 people cutting off Kairo's exit. Not only that, but Con was open as well, and 2 people entering. So yeah, that's all 5 of your players getting active just to take down Kairo. Like, I feel like they've done pretty well in that instance. Pinku, though, is going to make this entry work inside of Con. Now the wall's completely open, no mirror on it, so he's going to get that for free on the entry so far. Player, though, is going to at least get one back onto Guft. So numbers even between these 2 teams. But, like, honestly, this is kind of a lot of control for the attack.
Yeah, a lot of time. A huge amount to work with. Pinku on the entry. Oh, very nice off angle from Hunter. Very difficult to contest. He finds it and he falls back. And now the defense. Ooh, looking to get aggressive here, play. He doesn't need to as of yet. He's no keybers to try and fortify his position, so he falls back a little bit. This is quite awkward. Still very winnable for CS, but as player finds one and gets aggressive again, it feels like the time is ticking. Another big pick here for Jackenna, but of course, the Fenrir's FNAT Dread Mines make things all kinds of difficult. Diffuser cold on the ground, and Jackenna looks to try and farm a few picks, but Chef will happily clean both of them up and find the first defense for Man Esports.
Yeah, a bit of a one-dimensional attack there, I think, for Circular Spheres. They dedicated themselves fully to the sweep, and yes, while they were able to take down Kairo pretty quickly early on, then they weren't able to go and rotate their hard breach over, get open Jacuzzi, put pressure elsewhere, and in the end, I think Man Esports actually choosing the fall off early probably helped them out towards the late game there, right? They found their safe haven on the bomb site, seeming that Circular Spheres wouldn't, decided not to go for a pinch on the other side of the map, and that worked out pretty well for them.
Defenders, protect your bombs
Yeah,
from being
I think you're right. I maybe called it a little bit too early. I thought that was too early of a retreat, but Circular Spheres did not capitalize quite well, and there are a lot of solid ones from Man Esports. But now we get to see if they can right the wrongs of round 1, because it was quite embarrassing losing that 4 versus 2. They had read it so well for the most part. I think Kairo getting that early pick through the vert onto the top of main stairs, beautiful. I really enjoyed that. I think their setup was great. The Azami on this basement bomb site is so powerful, as is the Fenrir. Also, let's not forget about this cheeky mirror strat that Man Esports run every single Clubhouse basement round that we've seen so far, with the open reinforcement in the middle. The mirror window, which is essentially just to try and enable that early C4 and like bait a player into over-peaking it, which worked last time, by the way. It's consistent for them. They always manage to get a kill. They always manage to reinforce it off.
I feel like we theory crafted this last time, but like, what did we say the reason for having the wall open was for again?
I can't remember what we said last time, but I have a feeling it's just so that it like baits the attacker into peeking a little bit wider, which guarantees that C4 kill, because you can see them on the mirror window. You're not trying to swing them, you're just trying to use that C4 lineup.
But why wouldn't that work with just like...
Because the open wall baits them into swinging wider, so they can't get away from the C4.
I see.
That's my theory.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
It's like a false sense of excitement, I guess.
Definitely,
on
yeah.
the attack, you bottom of main stairs. It's like, ooh, wow, wall. I don't know, to be honest.
But they always reinforce it off as well. Like,
I don't know.
There's always an intention. I would love to see like a Capitao or some other kind of creative way of actually like nullifying that position, which you can do through Vert.
Maybe strange things happen, but when it's like strange in one way, then you don't know how to interpret it, and then that's also dangerous in its own way. Anyway, here we go.
Profound, yeah.
So the unknown is dangerous,
There are known knowns.
This could be a great philosophy episode here
There
once
are
again. I feel like we've done
unknowns.
too many of those though. Anyway, here we go. This is Chef Jeff once again on the lineup on the player bottom main stairs. We're looking to find the player in the bottom of the main stairs. Meanwhile, the rest of the attack side will start to work the vertical. All the rams have been deployed now on the side of Japer, so the back of Arsenal is fully vacated for the defense as they look to potentially drop kitchen when they can.
Reloaded. Nice usage of the caliber-based destruction to destroy the keeper barrier. Nice work with the Ash countering that mirror window. It seems to be a blue and armory push as this kitchen hatch is going to be attempted to be open. Now Thatcher has been foregone this round, and instead the Hibana, by placing a few keepers on each side of the hatch, a few ex-Kairos will hopefully, different Japanese word, will hopefully open up that hatch by destroying the Kaid. Now Pink is going to go and peek this. The C4's gone. Oh wow, very dangerous from Chef, very aggressive.
Oh, but Pinky's just going to kill him here.
Oh, yuck.
You see what I mean? I don't understand. Anyway. I don't think I get it yet, Dev.
I think Chef played that
I
quite
really
poorly.
liked your theory, but then I saw Pinku at the bottom of main stairs here, and he's like holding his angle on the wall, like super passive, waiting for the rotation. Yeah, see, like this is a really passive angle. Surely you don't die in C4 here. Okay, never mind. It's just gone and peeked
Well,
instead.
C4's gone.
But-
C4 missed early.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm
I
ticking
don't
away.
understand, but I'll theory craft it later and get back to you.
I have a feeling here that Circular Spheres need to capitalize on this blue presence that they've got. Goofed was moving his way through. It seems to be the eventual execute will come down into Armory. And here's 2 big picks for Jekena. As he makes his entry known, Goof can actually play passively, just waiting for Player to walk straight into his line of sight. However, Player does get the kill and doubles down. It's now all up to the Azami, but he's found 3. No keeper barriers remain. Player on the site, a player on the hatch. He must duel them.
No
What
way.
a shot! A 4K, but not to be the 5th. Very nice try there from Player. Almost the ace clutch. But Circular Spheres are not to be trifled with. That is 2 successful attacks onto the most defender-sided bomb site on this map.
I quite like Circular Spheres' approach to that as well, realizing they didn't need Thatcher and instead, could bring another comfort operator on the board as well. Not only that, but Dev, I know it sounds crazy to say this, but Circular Spheres are playing the game really slowly.
This
And
is
that's
not
very-
the CS of old,
Yes,
eh?
exactly. That's very uncharacteristic of the Circular Spheres of 2023. The Circular Spheres of 2024 is like, they leaned into this ACOG stuff going on, Like, they're actually, like, breaking down each bomb site, doing the checklist, holding angles, like, playing the patient game. And that, like, to me, is, like, a real shake-up in identity from what we saw from the past year. And I think that last round was a great example of that.
I got a question for you.
Yep.
Is it the Juicy effect? Juicy
No.
came and joined this team. Jekena went out. The roster went from being like a bunch of young gunners, just mates, like hanging out from the ranked trenches. No, you don't think it's
I don't
Juicy?
think so. I think the game's just slowed down a lot. I mean, me and Rob and you have had plenty of yarns about it on the desk off air. But yeah, I think the game slowed down a lot, just like both mechanically and on like a macro scale as well, with all the changes that have come through.
Yeah.
And I think that Circular Spheres have maybe picked up on that and have realised that.
Well, that said,
I think especially with the introduction of Apex, to be honest, and the way that, like, the gunfights don't quite work out the same way these days.
well, it's one thing for the meta to change. It's another thing for a team to actually adapt to it. And I want to credit Circular Spheres. Like, they were the 1.5 ex-merchants, right? Like, they were just merchants of the aggressive meta. The game slowed down. What did they do? Did they keep trying to force a meta that was old? No, they've said, hey, I love my R4C ACOG. We're going to make this one work.
All right, here we go. So this is Physics looking for a Maverick trick on the wall. Now, keep in mind it has slipped through the ban phase as long as Thatcher, so they have got plenty of options to open up some of these walls. But with that mirror being right in between the Rios, it is a little dangerous to get your Thatcher on there, right? So Physics playing a really cautious game here. It doesn't really look like they're going to commit themselves to getting this wall open anymore. It just kind of looks like a line of sight from here on out. And, we'll see what they can convert, like, next, following on from this. Physics is kind of looking like he's shaping for a garage as well, potentially. And they haven't really put work on the other side of the map as well. So it would indicate to me that Circular Spheres are looking to try and dedicate themselves to this garage take.
There is a lot to worry about for this kind of take, and especially the Maverick. Now, where was that? Oh, Cairo actually just contested through the Maverick's own holes. That's a very unfortunate way to die for Physics. And realistically, there is very little chance that Circular Spheres will breach Garage now, as they have no hard breach aside from the ace, and no way of removing the Qaid's electric claws. However, Japer has found a big kill onto Player, the Azami, and another one goes in favor of CS. Another one! Now free to walk up the stairs. Goof considers it for a moment. He threatens the position, and Chef looks to over-aggress. He loses his life as well. How the greats fall. Man Esports were up a player, and then they got swept under the rug. Another beautiful attack from Circular Spheres. They're up 3-1.
See, that's what I'm telling you, Dev. This is the ACOG hold an angle meta. I'll tell you what. We're doing a garage take here, and basically no one is inside of the garage. Everyone's like down below, in lounge, holding an angle on the vertical, holding an angle from inside a lounge onto garage, sitting on the garage door, looking in with an ACOG, trying to take down that player. And then player dies, somehow, inside of rafters, behind his own keeper barrier. It's like, and it's just all falling apart. They haven't even taken a step into the bomb site, barely into the map even, and boom, all of the man LFO players have just gone and peeked all these players holding these angles and died. That's happened like 3 rounds in a row now. especially like after that first defense loss that they were able to get right. That was just them like basically peeking into a 2 versus 4. It feels like a massive deja vu for this team.
Oh, it's really not a good look, is it? Tactical timeout called for Man Esports, and they really need to capitalize upon this. The result of this game, like if this one goes in favor of Circular Spheres, it's actually going to have huge repercussions. Circular Spheres are currently on the outside looking in 7th place. Still possible to jump up into 6th or even potentially further. If they win this game, they're going to jump over Panic, 6 Targets, and Antic. And they will be tied for points with Man Esports. And depending on the scoreline, they could even jump Man Esports as well on round difference, all the way up into 3rd place, just from winning this one game, which would be absolutely unreal after Circular Spheres' incredibly shaky start to the season.
Scary times. Scary times if you're an Antic fan.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Antic and 6 Targets is going to be... Yeah, they're going to be terrified right now.
Get out the all chat, man. I mean, like, I can see what they're trying to. I can see what they're trying to do because, like, you know, like Chef's like the all chat merchant or whatever, right? And he's like saying weird things, so trying to like do it back at him. Yeah.
Also,
but, like,
yeah,
honestly, everyone, just shut up. Like, it doesn't matter what team you're on. I don't care who you are. Like, focus on the game.
Opening kill in the first round, Cairo gets a really nice vertical angle, and immediately Man Esports are in the all chat.
Yeah.
And then they throw a 4v2, and I think from that moment when Circular Spheres got back in the all chat, the tilt started to set in.
Yeah, don't get back in the all. Don't put the foot in the all chat in the first place, and you'll never have this problem. Okay, get in the lobby, mute your enemies, and just play the game.
Yeah, they really put their foot in their mouth with that one.
Yes, very bad. Okay, my rant is over. We are now attacking Clubhouse again. Well, Circular Spheres are. We're not. We're on the desk. Okay, fully. Yeah, thank goodness. Opened up for CCTV with the ace. Now it doesn't really look like they're dedicating themselves to the sweep this time around. I think they're trying to right their wrongs of the last time that they attacked Gym and Bedroom, and they're thinking, okay, let's not overcommit to the other side of the map and try and put pressure elsewhere instead. So yes, they've got an open CCTV, but it does also looking like they're putting early pressure onto Logi, onto Con, and Physics is taking the diffuser over to Jacuzzi instead. So it's a lot more pressure now for Circular Spheres.
I gotta say, nice idea there from CS with Goof trying to use a smoke to then enable his Switch drone to get down and take down that very powerful mirror window in Logistic, but unfortunately it was not able to land. Realistically, CS don't have a huge amount of util to clear these mirror windows because there's no Ash on the board, no Kali, and the Twitch drone I think was just able to find one. I believe I heard a mirror open just then. But you know, there's so much util still on the board that you want to be targeting. I think both Twitch drones have been destroyed.
So now, Dev, we play the waiting game, yeah? The walls have been open. Circular Spheres aren't going to move. They're just going to sit here and drone and wait. Yes?
Yeah, but they also have a bit of util to clear. The Rotero's coming through from the Flores. They got to clear these Fenrir, Dreadmines. Get some info on these positions so they can start zoning players out and looking for these kills to enable an entry. But you're right, like patience has proven to be a virtue for 16.
Very nice.
However, good opening there for player. He's been very sharp today.
Okay, here we go. A minute left on the clock and the flashbangs are sailed in. It looks like Physics is going to try and make this entry, but does he know that player has a fantastic one-way angle going into Gym?
And what's more, Hunter is right on the other side of this soft wall. Player trying to take that fight. Scars, meanwhile, has found 2. Hunter can pop up. And Pinku somehow misses him. So a 1v5. Mate, you fed before. Don't do it again. Last time it was a 4v2. Now it's a 5v1. But
do it.
Never say never.
Don't
you keep feeding and you will lose some heads here.
I'm actually proud of Man LFO here. They took their tactical timeout and they've realized we need to stop getting aggro on these guys. They're just sitting there and doing nothing and holding angles, right? And like, yes, that's kind of the way that the game is shaped up to be a little bit. But if they really do nothing and they're just disciplines, this is what happens, right? And it's worked out really well for them in this round. So I think, yeah, Man LFO, great tactical timeout to recompose, and there we go. The round's converted.
Very good there. You hit the nail on the head, Mandy. It's just a game of playing passive for Man LFO. Circular Spheres, if they're the ones to make the first move, doesn't always pan out so well, especially at a numbers disadvantage. And he's back in the old chat again.
Shut up, man. Get out. You too. Goofed, get out. Like, it's bad. It's bad.
I can't tell who's getting the most tilted in-game from all the old chat, but I can tell you who's getting most tilted out of game.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's you, Mandy.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of embarrassing.
Oh, League Ops is getting in on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
enough.
The admins are letting you know.
I concur, Fortress Admin 1. Okay, we're going down to the basement. It's round 6, so this is the final defense for Man LFO.
I just can't get over picturing, like, you know, the under 13s AFL, like, you know, like the footy Auskick kids, like, playing, and they start getting a bit lippy at each other, and the ref comes over, and the coach is like, enough, lads, please,
Yeah,
you know, settle down.
Okay.
Settle down, boys. That's what we just witnessed right there.
Did you ever play, like...
Not Auskick. I was a
play
tennis
Auskick.
and hockey guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
So
not
you're...
Auskick.
Yeah, we really are nerds. Hey, we go bowling and just play hockey.
Hey, hockey was fun. I played for 10 years, and then I gave up.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, enough. Here we go. Actually, back into the game now. Now, Man LFO, they've got 2 defense wins, and none of them have been on this bomb site. So going back to the basement does make me a bit worried for them. Now, that being said, they've taken this massive recomposure, and I think they've got the formula figured out now. Just don't do anything. Just wait. And maybe you can outweight Circular Spheres. And I think if they do that here, maybe they're good.
Ooh, here's a big entry from Jackenna
Maybe not.
with the ace no less, and he's found 2. Massive credit to Circular Spheres. They completely switched their game plan. They decided to aggressively stalk down this roam. They had one player shoot down the barricade and Jackenna to jump immediately in. Now a 5v3 advantage. Realistically, Man Esports need to go aggressive here. Sadly, the passive playstyle will no longer work from such a disadvantage. They need to at least find 1 kill back.
So Kara's in a pretty solid off angle here now. I think he has just been droned out, so now, you know, has to make this decision. Is he going to stay in this position or fall off? Okay, never mind. They've got no idea he's here, apparently. So Goof just going to drop down the hatch and fall to him inside a stage. There is still a player cutting him off at the bottom of red, though, so he seems pretty wary about that. Player's right behind there, waiting for the refrag, potentially as he goes for the swing. Not going to be followed up by any of the attackers, though. So for now, Cairo wasting a lot of time.
He needs to make good on this, though. There are no second chances here for Man LFO. Like, they lose this round, and that's essentially the game gone. Like, you can't be going 4-2 down on your defense half. And so Japer is looking to pinch with his player on red stairs, but do they know that a defender has snuck his way into stock? That's Cairo. Him and player were trying to play together to bait, but the last time Cairo was seen, it was all the way back in bar when he got that freebie onto Goof. So they don't know. Oh, big impact here for Cairo, but he's got to land the shot, and he did not need to make a move, but he was baited into it. It's the same story all over again for Circular Spheres. They just need to wait.
Circular Spheres are really dialing it up, if you ask me. They've been playing a pretty slow game for most of that, but that entry for the roam fleet was super early off the back of the info. They changed up the pacing completely in the early game. They were no longer just sitting out on windows, like holding the ground, trying to play cutoffs, yada yada. They realized, okay, we've got to clear the map. We're going to get inside the building. And I think, yeah, Man LFO leaning into the roam game is going to come back to bite them.
Jackenna was the one that dismantled that roam game. He's now here in Moto on the ace. Player has been so sharp today. He also 1v5'd on this very bomb site. He's going to have an impact. Hunter is being hunted down. They know exactly where he is. He's only got so many rounds in this shotgun, and he's finally taken down. Player 1v4. First one goes down. 3 more to find. He needs this round to win the half, to even up the half, but Jackenna finds his 3rd. Man LFO systematically pulled apart. Goofed has barely had to break a sweat. These guys are farming in the Farmers League. 4-2 on Clubhouse Attack.
They've done tremendously well on their attacking half. They've showed us, honestly, a lot of really good prowess. I think they've showed us that they know how to play the slow game. They also know how to dial it up when it's necessary and try and capitalize on some of these loose roamers and being able to clear them out really well. And I think, yeah, Circular Spheres, they very much outclassed Man LFO so far on Clubhouse. And I think, yeah, there's just a lot of fundamental things in the macro decision making that I think are going the right way for Circular Spheres. I thought that Man LFO were going to jump back into this one off the back of their tactical timeout. It really looks like they were changing the characteristic of how they were playing. And then it kind of just didn't pan out in that last round. Circular Spheres is too quick.
Yeah, it's funny, like the narrow margins when an attack can be so dependent on, like, Jackenna jumps in, gets 2 kills, and the roam is gone, and the round is essentially over. 5v3. Like, even on the best bomb sites, a 5v3 with almost the full round still to go, like, you can't really redeem yourself from that. Circular Spheres dominated that basement bomb site. They won all 3 times that it was played on the attack. And that is one of the most defender-sided bomb sites in the game, in the current meta. So I am astounded. I'm very impressed by CS.
Flabbergasted.
I'm flabbergasted. I am discombobulated.
Wow, that's a big word for me. We've good at the big words.
I'm getting there.
I'm pretty bad at the big words recently. I don't know what's gotten into me, but I've like regressed back into just saying.
Regress is a big word.
Yeah, that is a big word actually. The moment that I said that, I should give myself a Okay, here we go.
Sophisticating me.
Okay, too many words, too many words. So, Man LFO now have got to go onto their attacking half dip. And we've pointed out before, Clubhouse is pretty defender-sided, especially in this league, right? And so,
They only need 3 rounds.
are they in struggle streak now? Have they gone themselves down?
I hate to be like, I hate to
You know?
say doomsday, but I honestly think that there's no chance Man Esports.
No chance.
I think there is no chance
Damn.
Man Esports even push overtime.
But-
I think that this game is almost over.
But what if Circular Spheres are just as silly as they were, and now they go the over peakies because now they're on the defense and they're feeling confident because they're 4-2. It's all mind games. It's all in your brain.
They've been trying to make it mind games in the all chat, and it certainly ain't working. The CS are known for some silly behavior. They're the ones that got 0-14 in their first 2 opening games, but I have faith in them here. Man Esports need to turn up this attack.
Okay, so this could be a little dangerous for Chef Jeff. He's got the buck on hand to try and make this vertical game work, but right below him there were 2 players holding on to that vertical. Now they've fallen off, realizing that the buck is gone and tried to open up the back of Arsenal here. So far so good for Circular Spheres. For Man LFO, they have cleared out here the back of Arsenal for a kitchen drop potentially. Now it's the point where they're looking for this info, trying to figure out what they want to do next, find the point of least resistance in the defense, and then go and execute it.
Problem is, 2 C4s and strong positions from the keeper barriers still available for CS. This plan would be so challenging to make work. There's a deep angle all the way from the jukebox in the back of Church, which can deny this drop.
Well, and it's all going to kick things off here for Cairo, who's going to find the one onto Japer. So things looking all right so far for Man LFOs. They shape up with this execute. 40 seconds left to go. Now, they don't have that many flashbangs. In fact, they don't have any flashbangs left on the board to sink this into a translation into the basement, and that's where Pinku is here to shine.
Big butt player, he's come back. Hunters dodged that C4 and found the pick. Pinku's got to do it all. We'll need to see an ace from him to steal this round back. It seems like both teams are quite happy to attack this incredibly potent bomb site. Now Pinku's position is revealed. He's a dead man walking. Cairo comes right at him. A knife to the jawline. Gives him a little early shave. Maybe Man Esports aren't done after all.
That was a solo attack there from Man LFO. They went through the motions to clear out Clubhouse really well. Not only that, but really patient on getting the first pick down into the basement as well, onto Japer. And then from there, they followed up with a really great execute as well. There's a lot of redundancy going inside a Church. They knew it was going to be scrappy. They didn't have a lot of util to aid that drop, so they just need to throw the bodies at it instead, right? And I think, yeah, the entry came through. It was really good. All the players on the defense were a little claustrophobic over in the Church and blue side, like you pointed out earlier. Like, yes, there was that long line of sight, but it also meant that they were all kind of just sitting there together. And there wasn't anyone that was like that actively watching that kitchen hatch drop go down, except for Pinku. So yeah, all his teammates fall around him. Man, LFO landed a good execute.
Yeah. And they're again Lippy in the chat.
Yeah. I've just given up now, to be honest. I mean, like, I know that they can't hear me, so there's no point in me saying it in the first place, but it's like, you know, PSA to the rest of the league. Just like, it's bad look, man. It's a bad look. Just shut up. Like,
Just shut up, shut up. So, I'm going back and looking at OCE League. Would you believe there have been 74 rounds of Clubhouse played in
I would
OCE
believe
League?
that,
That's
actually.
insane.
I would believe that.
This is the Clubhouse League. The next most is Chalet at 58. Like, it's a massive margin. And that's a very solid 60% defense win rate. And I'm looking back. We've had 2 rounds of defense won so far out of 7. So we have entered into an alternate dimension where attacker-sided Clubhouse is the reality.
It's very strange, though. This is a very strange game of Clubhouse, I'll tell you what.
My question, Mandy, for you is, going back down to Church and Arsenal, is this the play for Circular Spheres? Because it's the 5th time it's been played from either team in this map, and it hasn't been won a single time by defense.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the universe is just against these 2 teams, hey. At first I was like, oh, Man LFO, they suck at defending this. But, like, maybe Circular Spheres suck equally as much. Or maybe the universe is against them both. It's one of them. Do you really want to be fighting the universe? I don't know. I'm actually not that superstitious, so I shouldn't really be saying that. But anyway. Okay, here's Goofed, who's holding on to Garage. Now, he's sitting in a very cheeky spot right at the bottom of the Harry Potter, the Garage stairs. And I don't think that Man LFO know.
Yeah,
That could be dangerous.
100% he's going to rat a pick here. I would be very surprised if Goof does not find at least something. Man, Esports need to be very careful because a single rat play could sway the entire round.
Vertical game once again for Chef Jeff, who's on the buck and has once again vacated the back of Arsenal. It's looking pretty similar from the last round for Man LFO. And I think the question for me really is, are Circular Spheres going to be able to recompose themselves and actually hold out in this basement? Because yeah, last time around it looked pretty clean when it came down to the execute for Man LFO. Now that Throne Rewind activated right below the kitchen hatch will make things a bit more tricky if they go for the same execute.
Ooh. But Jape is getting pretty aggressive here, so he's ultra aware of this dirt lurk. It seems like, yeah, okay, so it's definitely going to be a kitchen execute with a little bit of dirt, maybe player dropping blue, but still changing their mind. Okay, maybe it's not so centric here. They're continuing to poke and prod onto the bomb site, but there's such a good setup with those keeper barriers. I don't know how you can entry with the keepers and the dread mines.
It's making me nervous as to whether Circular Spheres are in the right spot for this again, to be honest. Like, I know Pinky's got that long line of sight, but really they need to be... That player behind the big box needs to be really cautious. And that Dirt player hopefully wins their one as well and is able to support this from here on out. Now there's 30 seconds left to go. This time around, Man LFO haven't been afforded an early pick. See, this setup here makes me think that Circular Spheres aren't really ready for this execute, right? I don't know about you, Dev, but it's a bit dangerous.
Kara's gone down. He was the first one to drop and the first one to fall, and now the diffuser is being forced down. Player gets aggressive, but ever so patient are Circular Spheres. They bide their time, and they play this to their advantage. Hunter, he goes down as well. Now it's all up to Chef Jeff to cook up whatever he can from upstairs on the hatch, but you can see Circular Spheres know exactly where he is, and they're just baiting him. 2 players, 3 players coming up the main stairs as Japer baits him. In comes the onslaught. 1 down, 2, a third one. Who's getting on the diffuser? Chef Jeff! What is this? Who let him cook? He's up in kitchen right now and there's absolutely nothing Japer can do about it. Unlucky, I guess. The round is over. Chef Jeff have made Circular Spheres look like fools.
Mate, he actually made Circular Spheres run circles. What I was saying, the train up the main stairs into the triple kill, that is ridiculous, man. What are they doing?
Bro.
What have they done there?
What is that?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Do you know what this is deja vu of? Karma sitting out in the main breach. Why are 4 Circular Spheres players peeking Karma on the main breach? Why are 3 Circular Spheres players taking the 1-to-1-to-1 on Chef Jeff inside the
How do you
kitchen?
not refrag that?
What's going on? What is going on?
CS played it so bloody well up until right here.
What?
Just bide your time. It's taken in turns. Oh, Chef played it so well behind the cover. Japer knew the round was over, dead to rights. And he's just looking up through the vertical game. That is the biggest buff I've ever seen from Chef.
I mean, here's the other thing as well, right? When that triple onslaught is coming through, why isn't the diffuser being diffused?
Just stick it.
At
All
the
you
same
have to
time,
do.
you know? Like, in the comms of Circular Spheres, what the hell has just gone wrong? You know? What has happened?
I tell you what happened. Every one of those CS players was baiting. You know how you have to play a 3v1?
Oh,
Someone has to say, I'm going to be the bait. But no, they all wanted to be the baiter.
Oh, no. Oh, God, it's all gone horribly wrong. It's all gone horribly
Bro.
wrong. No, and you know what else is worse than that? That means that's another basement bomb site. Like, lost.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5 times.
5 out of 5.
Oh, my
Kairo's
goodness.
found an opener again. Jakenna, mate, you've had some big rounds here. But you've just been eliminated right at the start with no impact. I bet you Mozzie Pest weren't even out deployed in the field as well. This could be the turning point, Mandy.
This is so strange. This is such a strange game of Clubhouse. Of all the Clubhouse that we've watched in OCE League, this has got to be like by far the most like bamboozling one. Sure. What is going on?
OCE be Wilden.
OCE do be Wilden. Okay, the wall is open for Cairo. That's pretty good. Not only that, but they found the first pick as well. So that's double good. Hopefully from here, they can convert this into gym and bedroom. Now, so far, the basement seems to be a free attack for whatever reason. So, Man LFO are going to have to find some attacks elsewhere. This is the first time they're attacking something that isn't the basement.
Yeah, they look pretty organized, though. I really like that setup with the Maverick holes, and the full breach just gives you options if you want to play like a safe Maverick hole line and then just to deny anyone peeking the CC window, or if you actually want to enter late from that position. What's more, like, man advantage is just so big for Circular Sphere, man LFO rather. And, okay, so Goof decides to get quite aggressive, but he is immediately traded on back, so not really worth it, to be honest. Circular Spheres are a bit caught out of position. Pinku gets back into Bathroom and tries to hold that for a bit longer, but players threatening something spicy with the Candelas on Logi.
Yeah, I think he knows that something's going on just in the back of Logi there, and he's ready to bounce that Candela off it. I think he's waiting for one of his teammates to do something here as well at the same time, right? He's just biding his time, making sure he doesn't do this in an isolated fashion. They do have the numbers advantage here, so giving a one-on-one engagement in this instance probably isn't the play here for player. Just biding his time. Waiting for someone to make the call that they're going in as well. Make something happen simultaneously.
Ooh, nice
That's a great Yin Candela as well.
Beautiful. Look at them go rolling in. Player enters actually through Con, but that Goo Mine slows him down. He won't get quite as much control as he wants, but that's fine because Kairo's gone big. Traded on back by Physics, but Scars will get the last laugh, man. LFO continuing their reign of form on attack. 3 in a row. And I think I'm going to have to eat my own words. This looks to be an attacker's heaven on Clubhouse as Man Esports have stolen the lead.
It's very nice. Great work there from Man LFO, really. They got the wall open nice and quick over in CCTV, got the players to come back. Now, what they did there through the mid-round was they read that re-aggression, right? They realized that Circular Spheres were going to play a bit of a dicey mid-round there. They were going to look to pick their battles over inside a Con, and they actually contested that, and they held on to that, especially with the cutoffs that they had set up and that type of thing as well, right? So I think finding themselves in a good position through the mid-rounds then snowballed into a good execute as well. Player didn't get over-aggressive on his position inside of Logi. He just waited it out, waited for the execute to come through, and then Cairo fully capitalized off those Yin Candelas that forced everyone into the bomb site and into his line of sight. So yeah, really well coordinated there from Man LFO. Very much reading the re-aggression from Circular Spheres.
How on earth do you defend Clubhouse? Does anyone know? If anyone knows how to defend Clubhouse, please let me know, because I honestly don't know at this point.
I don't know either. Yeah, it's kind of like hard to put a finger on why this game has been so attacker-sided, but it's really strange.
You could say, oh, well, Thatcher and Maverick are both in. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, so's Fenrir, so's Azami, so's Kaid, so's Mira.
I have no idea.
So many good ops on defense are in, even though the Solus is gone, the Valk's gone. Like, I don't know. I actually feel like CC is the worst bomb site to go to here.
You know what? You're going to say that, and then they're going to play it and defend it.
Yeah, I was about to say, but I think that Church and Arsenal should be winnable, and I just cannot understand why it's not so far.
I don't know either.
Like, where is the Plantanar? Have we seen a single smoke pitch this round?
Like,
I don't think we've seen a single round.
I know
someone has tried to deny plant with smoke.
I know it sounds really stupid, but they just don't look ready for a kitchen execute. I don't know what else to tell you.
How can no one defend against a kitchen execute?
Both of these teams, when the kitchen hatch drop comes through, it just doesn't feel like anyone's watching the kitchen hatch.
That is my
I know that sounds
right
really stupid, but like, I swear, man. Anyway, okay. It doesn't matter because it's not the bomb site anyway. We're going over to CCTV and cash. So they've decided the basement's cursed. Let's try something different. And so far, I mean, it hasn't really worked for them, has it? Because Man LFO's just won 3 attacks in a row. So yeah, try something different. Why not?
And Man LFO looked pretty tilted near the latter portion of that half. Even losing the last round of the half, I thought that was dead to rights. Cairo, I think he missed, didn't he miss a spot at the bottom? Maybe he didn't, I thought he did. No, he didn't indeed. So that was very effective and efficient Maverick work. Scars can open up the wall. The mirror has already been smacked. Looking very good as a start. Very efficient, very quick. 45 seconds in and the 2 key walls to breach have been opened.
Does look like, though, Man LFO are going to flip things around and look to try and take the other side of the map as well. A couple drones being sent out over in Master and through Con from Cairo now, so it does. They do know now that this side of the map is fully clear and they can look for the entry and then look to open up the Con wall. So Man LFO taking a bit of a different approach to this bomb site. Last time we saw Circular Spheres attack this, they just went for like fully garage side take. These guys are actually looking to sweep the map or go for a pinch onto the bomb site here. So player's going to make his way in over on Master. That wall should be opened up fairly easily. I don't think there's anyone down in the ground floor, I believe, from Circular Spheres, so they don't have too much to worry about in the ways to hatch. Oh, there is one player, but it should be alright from here.
Oh, there's a big early pick from Cairo. Just punishing a little bit of aggression there. Maverick should be able to get rid of this mute jammer. Good information as well from the Deimos, who's pinged out one of these defenders. It's the Azami. Can't actually tell where the Azami is at the moment. Jape is now looking for a player below, but he's got the bad read because the wall's already open. They don't need to send someone below. Oh, he's going for a massive C4 outside. It almost catches Chef, but he gets the read just in time. This puts poor McCraw in such an awkward spot on site as Scars goes deep. Numbers advantage in favor of the attack, and that is furthered now. All up to Japer in a 1 versus 2. No C4 to speak of. A little bit of information can be gleaned from Goofed, but Japer's going to have to do it on his lonesome. Round in the corner, gets the info, but doesn't get the peek. Massive from Scars. The rookie getting it done. 4 attacks in a row from Man LFO, and believe it or not, that means match point.
Huge entry as well from Scars into the bomb site. As soon as it was go time, he was in right in the middle of bomb site, took down 2 or 3 players. Not just that, but Man LFO in general took a lot of the steps to pick apart that bomb site in the right way as well, getting the main breach open, looking for the swap because they'd forfeited the other side of the map. Not dying to the C4 from down below, which, by the way, I've never seen before. That was very strange.
Bit ambitious.
Yeah, a bit ambitious, a bit strange, but nevertheless, I think Man LFO just like bide their time, play the patience game, flush out players. Cairo especially, like in his position on the Maverick, making sure that the wall gets open nice and easily. Yeah, it just felt like all the pieces really fell together there for Man LFO as they picked apart that defense pretty handily.
Which has been the story of every single one of these attack rounds for Man LFO. They always figure out a pretty handy way to pick apart this defense. They utilized the Ying very well on the previous gym bedroom attack as well. And to be honest, it's just Cairo's had a lot of really good entries as well. Scars that last round too. No individual player on Man Esports is like fragging years ahead of everyone else. Like you could obviously point on the Circular Sphere side to All-Major Kenner on 12 kills at the moment. But for Man Esports, it just feels like if someone needs to entry, they'll just send someone in, and it works so well for them. Are they going to be able to convert 5 attacks in a row? I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be either. And you know what, Dev? Like, speaking of like entries and finding kills and stuff like that, Cairo is such an impact player, I feel like. Even though he's like on even here on the scoreboard, it's like players' kills, exit frags. Cairo's kills, he's in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. It's a difference, you know? Yeah. There's definitely a pretty clear difference there. And I think, yeah, especially on the Maverick, it's a bit of, requires a bit of finesse on this map to be able to play this. Efficient. But, like, yeah, he's done really good for the team here.
He is beautifully efficient with that Maverick. Scars comes along with the Rotero and opens it up. Very nice, very easy. Already a very solid entry to clear this roam has been established. Pinku's looking quite aggressive. Doesn't look like Man Esports are going to overcommit to this just yet. Oh, wow, very aggressive swing there. And Japer looks to try and reply. Both of the defenders end up almost losing their lives as a result.
Looking to pick apart a little bit more of this defense as well. Flores is a great solution to the Azami as well, between the 2 bomb sites to try and break away from what's going on interior onto gym and bedroom. It can be hard for the defense to find these safe havens and power positions on this particular bomb site, and Azami certainly aids that. Flores is a great solution to that. This mirror window is going to stunt them a little bit. They don't have that much range hard breach to deal with it. In fact, they have no range hard breach to deal with this at all. So the only way they can flush this out is with this utility. Flashbang's going to be sailed on through, but they're stuck in the Shadow Realm.
Wow, and Cairo just goes straight deep. He doesn't hesitate. 1:30 left on the clock, but Gooft has found his pick. Cairo still going deep. Can he be the impact player that's needed? He gets completely flashed, but it doesn't matter. He finds his pick anyway. The trade comes through from the Fenrir. Physics turns around, knowing player is right behind him. Chef diffuser in pocket. Waits, bides his time in the site. It's up to a retake from Circular Spheres. No, Japer, you can't be missing that. He knows where player is. He goes for it. The Ying is dead. Man Esports rely just on Chef as he waits for someone to pick. But it's not going to happen. The re-enable of the Fenrir. Pinku to finish him off. We're not done just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Circular Spheres have finally, against all odds, won a clubhouse defense.
Yes, let's go. The world is back in order again. We're winning defenses. Yes.
3 defense wins in 10 rounds,
That's
11
ridiculous.
rounds.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I'll tell you what. Oh my god. It's not every day that you see attack side of Clubhouse, but this has been an anomaly if we've ever seen one.
I think I jinxed it massively. Like I said, there is no way that Man LFO pushes overtime, let alone wins. And now they're the ones with match point, their second match point now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a bit of an early kill from you there.
4-2 clubhouse attack! Can you blame me?
Yeah, fair enough. You can't blame me.
4-2!
You were just trying to abide by the laws of the world.
Yeah.
You know, the laws of the Siege world.
Like when I went to school,
Yeah.
you know, they taught me 3 things.
Did you go to Siege school?
No. They taught me 1 + 1 = 2.
Really?
Yeah. They taught me how to read and write. And they taught me that if you win 4 clubhouse attacks, you're guaranteed to win the match.
I don't know what kind of academic institution
Now I'm
you've gone
questioning
to.
all of it. Maybe 1 + 1 isn't even 2.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Oh god, it's all gone horribly wrong for us. The world's been turned
5 seconds
upside
to go.
down. Okay, you know what, Dave? We're back in the basement.
Attackers must locate
Oh,
and defuse
No,
the bomb.
if the law
6 times the charm,
the
guys.
6th time is the charm.
5 attack wins onto the basement.
We're on Blitz. If you're Hunter, I mean, Dev, these two teams have sent us into like the most delirious state I think we've been in a cast in a long time.
Sometimes to be Delulu is the Salulu.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, Dirt Rush. Looks like it's going to be the plate. Never mind. No, it's not. Chef Dev had the exoskeleton key out. Hunter was ready with the shield in hand, and then they were like, nah.
Yeah. They were trying to bait the peek from Jackenna, but he didn't fall for it. He knows there's a drone on him, so he's just trying to play passive. It does look like Circular Spheres are actually playing just incredibly passive in general. Like 5 players on site, everyone's just chilling. No one wants to overextend, even Jackenna here.
The thing that I would like to see here is when that kitchen hatch inevitably gets opened, that someone on defense is like watching it. That would be crazy. That would actually be like
Imagine.
revolutionary in this matchup.
What about Plantanile? We have 3 C4s. 2 impacts could even assist with Plantanile. That could be nice.
That is true. Okay, yeah, so kitchen hatch has been opened as the prophecy is told.
very early. 2 Kaid claws in pocket.
Now the real question is, are they ready? I don't know. I don't know what you think, Dave, but
Well, Japer has a feeling. Does he have any dread mines to protect him in dirt? Because that would be massively useful as the Blitz has now droned him and threatened to push. Scars knows full well that these EMPs can be used for a lot more than Kaid claws. He can use them to disable those dread mines and enable an entry.
All right, here goes Hunter on the Blitz, who's made his way in through dirt. Now, I think that one inside of dirt is activated, and he will be stuck in that dread mine for a little bit. Oh, but he sees the other player inside the Shadow Realm with him.
Oh, Japer!
Japer is going to try and escape, but the kitchen hatch is open. Oh my god, he's just gotten away with his life. That is ridiculously lucky from Japer. One bullet, one little tickle will take him down. No. Do not peek Hunter. Bad idea.
Very risky to peek here as the shield. There's no Azami on the defense. So this position is a lot less fortified. You can't play AKs. Scars has a very good chance of finding a head here at the green box. He almost saw it for a brief second.
It's going to happen
Oh,
again.
but he loses the fight! Jackenna, no scope needed. Takes down Scars, and now, man, Esports get desperate. Players sent on through, but he is so sharp. Doesn't matter! Jackenna's back in action, baby!
It's happening.
Circular Spheres might be able to do what has deemed to be impossible to win just one bloody round of defense on the basement of Clubhouse. Hallelujah! They've done it!
They did it.
And we're going to overtime.
That is ridiculous. I cannot believe it has taken us 6 rounds of basement defense for any of these teams to win one. One.
Half of this game has been that bomb site.
Yep.
Half of this game.
Yep.
Holy moly.
And you know what? I'll tell you what the difference was. Guy behind the big box was looking at the kitchen hatch. I swear, man. I swear. I don't know what you think, Dev. But like,
Just
come on.
don't die to Kitchen Hatch and get a kill on Kitchen Hatch. How funny is it that the very first round should have been like a cut and dried Man Esports win on the basement. They had a 4v2.
Yep.
That was the most convincing round of basement defense we've seen
Until that round.
Until they threw it, and until that round. So my question now for you, Manny, Circular Spheres start defense. Anyone that looks at the stats from this game would say, oh, no, they're cooked, mate. There's no way they come back when they start defense in OT with how attacker side this been. But they just won basement defense, and they're going back to it again.
Why are they going back?
Because they just won it, Mandy.
I don't think these guys are getting the memo, Dev. This is a cursed bomb site. This, like, the basement Bad juju. Not good. You want to be going somewhere else, mate. I'll tell you what. Either none of these teams know how to defend it, or no one knows how to. Well, I guess everyone knows how to attack it. One of them. They're either incredibly good at attacking it, or really bad at defending it.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Yeah. But okay, the difference is these guys are going for a roam. So they haven't just like all hunkered down in the basement and yada yada. They're actually like holding onto the ground for a little bit. There's even some reinforcements all the way up in the top floor too. So, man LFO needs to clear the map. That's different.
Do they need to clear the map? Can they take minimal control and look to threaten a kind of retreat? Oh, what are you doing, Japer?
How have you died to this?
Bad boy! What are you doing outside the building? It's overtime, mate.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I guess he was trying to look for like a cheeky overtime play. Get ahead when you think they're going to be not ahead and play passive.
If you're Jakenna, you've got a license to do that. If you're Japer, maybe not. Jakenna is
etc.
15 and 9. Oh, he's been droned. He knows about it. Oh, he wants to take this fight anyway. He's about to get double swung. Big one for Jakenna, but the trade comes through. However, losing the vertical player for Man Esports, the buck has gone down.
That is rather important as well as we move into the mid-rounds for this attack for Man LFO. They will need that buck to go and clear out the back of kitchen, right? And now that it has been gone, the only way they can divert is from Skars' breaching charges. Now, putting a breach charge on the floor in kitchen is quite scary. Okay.
Bit yucky.
Yes, it is a bit yucky. So here goes Hunter trying to open up the kitchen hatch. That Cade Claw can be taken down.
They do have a Thatcher as well. Yep, Scar's going to come and help
okay,
out.
see, this is the simple way to do it. That is true, hey. I forgot about that.
Well, you just don't really want to walk in the kitchen, do you?
No.
The floor is lava in there. And he's also worried about impacts, so he's only going to do 2 at a time, which will bleed a little bit of extra time. Oh, player's got so much info.
I think the Cade Claw's just gone back on the hatch as well. So... Oh, okay, never mind. I have actually got it here. That's good. Very good.
I have a feeling that this could be a big round for player.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, true. Hey, numbers disadvantage means that you don't really have that many people holding the crossfire into blue. If player can sneak in here and find his entry on the boiler, it could be over. Could be over. You never know.
Numbers advantage is the greatest asset that Man Esports have right now. And they're still looking for more. They're still looking for picks. Circular Spheres, just biding their time.
Well, that being said, though, they kind of are holding the cross on blue, and as a result, they aren't really watching this execute going down. The flashbang's going to be sent through, but yes, they are! Gooft is on the other side. He's just taken down the Hunter, diffuser in hand. There goes Cairo on the drop shot. He's going to get him. 2 versus 2 now. 4-man LFO for Circular Spheres. Cairo with another gnarly shot onto the player inside of blue. It's just physics in the 1 versus 2.
Don't have enough bullets to be pre-firing like that, mate. Physics, 1v2, caught in the cross. And Cairo sweeps him off his feet. Man Esports, they continue the dominance of attack despite the success of CS's last round. And now, for what seems like the millionth time, it's match point in favor of Man.
Yeah, I think Circular Sphere's overcommitting to the roam game there. I think a little bit deep. I'm not sure how
much. I mean,
much
Japer running outside and giving a free kill in the first 30 seconds certainly didn't help.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if that went the other way, we'd be singing his praises. We'd be like, oh my goodness, he did something unexpected. Wow, you know? But like, yeah, I mean, that was a bit ambitious, hey. That run out is pretty long nowadays with the detection timer. Yeah.
Right? Like, what was the reward of winning that? It's like, okay, we have a man advantage, but like we already won without a man advantage last time, so you could have just stuck to your guns.
Yeah. Like
reeks of desperation.
It is true. Of all the cheeky plays that they could have gone for, that is
the lowest percentage play.
Yeah, a fairly ambitious one to be going for. And then I think off the back of that, probably overcommitting a little bit, right? Jakenna, I think, felt like he needed to get a pick back in that situation and then stayed in his position inside of blue, but then getting traded out. 3 people on the basement bomb site is kind of a lot of angles to cover, right? When that execute comes through. And so, yeah, man, LFO convert that one.
But you know what's scary, Mandy, is that, yeah, this has been a really attacker-sided game, and that first half was no exception. Circular Spheres won 4 attacks, but never once did they win an attack onto Gym Bedroom. Man Esports played it twice, and both times successfully defended it. Now they've got match point, and they can go back to Gym and Bedroom. The numbers don't lie. The numbers suggest that this should be GG in this round, an 8-6 victory in favor of Man Esports. Now, both of these teams have already copped 1 point out of this game, and every point counts at the moment on the standings, that's for damn sure. But Circular Spheres really need this so damn much to get out of those elimination spaces.
Have they won the match here by not going down? That is the question. Okay, EMP is going to go out here for the attack to open up the wall going to CCTV. Player's going to feel the pressure of that wall being open and deciding to rotate off of rafters and back inside cache. So that's going to allow him to be safe for a little bit longer. Now the question here for Circular Spheres is, do they then go and commit to this sweep across the map like they did last time? It was pretty linear. It didn't really work out for them too well. So what I'd like to see them do here is to flip some of their setup, like Physics has been able to do previously, get some of this jacuzzi wall open, try and choke out a bit of this defense. Because if you're going to sit here for a long time and only get con control, you're going to struggle when it hits the execute phase.
Looks like there's an attempt at a trick here. Juggle from the Kaid. There's only one EMP, but it is placed perfectly. There is no way that that electric ball will detonate in time. However, it does protect against that Selma, which does give a little bit more cover here to the defense.
Keep it active.
This is interesting as well for Man LFO. They've decided to keep, I think it's Scars, left over on the other side inside a cache. Pretty late into the round as well. And at this point, it's fairly dangerous for him to fall off at this point. I guess this play's still holding on to Con, and so is Cairo. So if he wanted to fall off, actually, I kind of take that back. This area of the map is still like pretty fortified.
Yeah.
There's not a real reason here for Man LFO to actually give this up, because there hasn't really been an execute teased out yet either for Circular Spheres. There's a whole lot of not very much going on right now, is what I'm trying to say here, Dev.
Yeah.
And that's making me anxious for Circular Spheres, because when they do nothing and Man LFO realize they're not doing anything, then it's bad.
Very much.
It's
This is not looking like a good round here for Circular Spheres. Not enough progress made, and that time is ticking away. Finally, we see Jakenna take down that mirror with the Ash charge. Scars is still below potential vertical with the C4 in the late round. He's lurk countering as well at the moment. Circular Spheres do not have time to waste.
So I think they've realised they can't really deal with this mirror and bathroom all that well, because I think, well, unless they've got a Selma charge on it.
They
just
already
then it's
ashed
been
it, I
open.
believe.
Oh, they've ashed it now, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So now, off the back of that, they're going to try and make this execute work into Gym. The info's going to go up, but there's only 20 seconds left to do it. So if they're going to do this, it's going to be a measure twice, cut once kind of approach. It's do or die here for Circular Spheres.
Jakenna is the scalpel. He finds the kill needed, but blood has been drawn on both sides. Chef Jeff finds his kill, and he is still singing. Scars has come up the stairs and found something. The plant's going down, but Chef is there to cook him again! Man Esports took bloody forever to lock it in, but they steal the round. They steal the game away from Circular Spheres.
And in perhaps the most strange and chaotic game of Clubhouse that we've seen for a while in this region, Man LFO thrive in that. They come out on top. They play the patience game against Circular Spheres in the dying seconds of the round. The plant gets stopped by Chef Jeff. What a way to end the game.
That has got to be one of the most tiring games I have ever watched. It is
Yes.
stressful seeing defenses crumble again and again and again. Circular Spheres, how do you fumble a 4-2 attack start on club? I don't know. I don't know either. Maybe the Death knows. Please, guys, what the hell was that?
Listening, what did he ask?
I was waiting. I was hoping one of you boys picked that up. I just had,
Maybe the desk. He had fun with that one, didn't he? Anyway, and what a game it was, Rob. Look,
Indeed.
not the kind of siege that we're going to look back and say was a defensive masterpiece by any means, but good to see Clubhouse get kind of broken down by these teams on the attack, what felt like time and time again.
Guys, I mean, it's hard to break this one down as a good or a bad thing, but me and Jake were talking, and, us resident analysts, we were asking and posing the question to each other. Bad defense, good attack. Which is it?
Which is it?
Well, it's elements of both. I think a lot of those attacking rounds came off the back of an individual player route wanting it into sight. And a lot of that comes down to, one, the attack having the info and then the confidence to play off that and to be able to then hit shots. We saw Cairo especially do that a lot, and he did that against Antic. But that then falls back to the defense for allowing a doorway or a breach or an entry point to be vulnerable to that kind of play. And when you've got the likes of the Fenrir still up, you've got the likes of Kaid to slow out hatches, you have a lot of utils still available to facilitate that defensive playstyle of locking down those positions, and you're still being exploited. And this goes for both teams. It definitely raises concerns. Ultimately, in the end, defense was able to prevail in OT, so good work from Man LFO, and overall had some big moments in that match, Chef especially, but certainly did not anticipate that map to play out as attacker-sided as it did. Nothing in the ban phase indicated that it would lean that way, nothing from what we've seen from these teams either, so certainly came as a surprise. Maybe not more so for Man LFO though. Again, against Antic yesterday, similar playstyle with players just being allowed to lurk in and find multis, and they did the same today.
Yeah, it does seem to be a trend here, Xenox, and I don't know whether it's worth going into too deeply, but it does feel like a lot of these games are actually coming down to a certain individual performance in a round.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, I guess. Is that a bad thing or a good thing, though? Again, it's the same conversation regarding attack and defense. It's easy to say maybe the individual can rise to the occasion, which is good, but then also the collective isn't working together, and therefore that's bad. So again, it's probably a little bit of elements of both. I think for both teams, though, this was the kind of game that it didn't quite fit the script. Clubhouse defense usually is the case, not to be this time around. Does showcase good attacking power, but question marks on the defense.
Look, I think Kaken said it best last night when he said a gentleman's game played by Barbarian. Speaking of a Barbarian, let's welcome in Chef Jeff after a, I can only say a vicious performance. What are you giving me this for?
There's no way you're calling me a barbarian.
Well, I don't know.
Well, Rob
you
didn't say it. It wasn't Rob.
It was I technically. No, I did. I did go and call him a barbarian. When I look at your player cam and all I see is okay. Yeah, now we're starting to get to the crux of it, aren't we? Mate, look, honestly, unbelievable performance from you. You had 2 massive clutches there. How many wheat picks did you have this morning?
Yeah. None today actually. I had a chicken wrap from a charcoal chicken place, and that was the best thing I think I've had all week. So,
keep that up. Keep that up. How does it feel though? That's a huge win on the board, and I believe by my calculations, and my calculations are usually off, you guys have secured the playoffs. Now, where you end, obviously, that's still yet to be seen, but that is a huge win.
Yeah, I think Spra Booney from the Liquipedia team put predictions on Twitter, or calculations on Twitter. I think us getting OT win today locks us playoffs.
Yep.
It's really good for us, which means that we get to not take a back seat in this last game. We want to win that next game and finish third. We have a lot to work towards. But yeah, no, we are very, very happy with how some of the games are going. Obviously, we would have wanted to win this in regulation, and that just came down to the defenses being a bit, how you going for us? So we got some stuff to work on.
Yeah, you weren't the only ones, though. I mean, it was both teams, I think, defensively, not at the races today. Why do you think that was, Chef? Because, you look at the statistics for Clubhouse in this region, 67% defensive sided for both primary sites. Didn't seem like it tonight. But I guess you could also play devil's advocate and say both of you guys, in terms of both teams, played well on the attack. What do you think were the large reasons, though, for the lack of defense?
Oh, look, defense on our end. The start of the game, we were very quiet, and I think that's one thing that we really addressed in the attack timeout. We weren't really talking as much to each other in the rounds. We were trying to just do everything sort of individually, I think, and that really costed us in a lot of gunfights. We were taking a lot of one-on-one swings that really costed. And when we got to the attacks, it was a lot more reliant on playing together, and that's where we thrive.
Just picking up on the point you made earlier, Chef, in terms of, top 2 prospects, etc. Depending on how some other results go, it's, still quite a realistic prospect. I think it's about a 1 in 3 chance heading into tonight. You've mentioned it doesn't change your approach much for next week, but is it something that you guys talk about much? Is it really that important, or is it just a case of another week?
Oh, look, we want the best possible seeding in the playoffs. Second place, Bliss is already locked in first place, so second place is the next option that we can aim for. And obviously, we're riding on Antic to win that game. I don't think they will. So it really is whatever. If Antic win it, then we just need to win next week, and we might be in a solid position to take out second place. It will really depend on what happens in all the games, but we're just focusing on our game. We know that if we win next week in regulation, we'll probably be finishing around that third place area, and we're fine with that if we focus on ourselves.
Yep. Now, obviously, you're speaking about your ODMs, your antics, and the fact that we get to second place being such a large step up in terms of not having to play the quarterfinal, going straight to the semi-final, not then having to play Bliss until the grand final is obviously a massive, big caveat to the whole conversation of playoffs. But overall, one of the big questions we asked earlier to a couple of the teams, and I'll reiterate here: best of 3 preparations. What's it looking like?
We're very fortunate that we've been able to not play as many maps so far in the regular season. We've got a lot to prac in for the next weeks. But for the playoffs bracket, obviously, I think we're looking at the seeding. I think third stems into the second seed game in the semifinals. Anyway, so I think that if we win next week, we're cheering, even if we are playing in that quarterfinal, because we're still avoiding Bliss. It's more time to really get best of threes in, get as much official prep as possible, get duration. Hopefully we can get to that stage, and we'll give it our best shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
I can't wait to watch this one back. This will be a fun one. Shout out to the boys. We have these intense games. It's been a very, very long week of prac leading up to this week. So a 2-0 week really vindicates the work that we've put in. We've definitely been working hard. So I'm proud of everyone on our team. We are LFO. I think this is the second time I've said it out of the 3 interviews, and the first time I was prompted by Xenox. I'm really happy with how we're going, and hopefully everyone keeps supporting us into the next week. So I'll keep doing funny stuff for the webcams, and thanks guys.
Mate, as long as you keep it entertaining and short and sweet. Thank you very much for joining us, Chef.
Absolutely. See ya.
Well, we now move forward with Men LFO looking pretty decent, but it's still... Conversation does turn a little bit with an overtime win, Jake. It now really falls to the shoulders of the last game to determine what's going to happen for second seed in that final game that we will play out. But look, ultimately, Men LFO 4 wins on their 6 games. It's a good sign.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think for Man Esports, LFO, it's a case of preparing for playoffs, as kind of guys alluding to there, best of 3s to eventually come, what that's going to look like for them. So I think they're a team that certainly has good potential. What they're going to be like, though, against some of those really top teams like Bliss, I mean, they've shown some okay moments. Today was very questionable. On the defense. Both teams, though, equally so. We could have easily been sitting here with a Circular Spheres win.
Yep.
So it's not as if this was a largely dominant game from Man LFOs. Cairo picks up the MVP for what was a pretty well-rounded performance, I think, from a lot of the members really across the board. Circular Spheres back to the drawing board for them is the biggest takeaway as well from this match. 7 points now. Does kind of mean that they've got to win their last game next play day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they could be in the bottom 2.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be should, maybe. That might actually be the conversation rather.
I still think 6 targets might be the ones that are going to finish up in the bottom 2. That's my guess.
Well, I mean, they've got Man LFO tomorrow, so not tomorrow, but
next week.
Next week. So that I guess that really does start to shape that conversation. And it's not looking too fantastic for Circular Spheres. It's going to be a rat race, and unfortunately not for the top end, more so for the bottom end. We're going to go to a short break. You will not want to go anywhere. It is match of the day coming up next. Antic, will they continue their poor form, or will they rise to the occasion of Odium?